Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology here, welcoming back one of my very favorite guests and best friends right here on GoTarryn TV, Mr. Freddy G of Fit Peru. Now before Freddy rejoins us back here on today's show, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now today's episode is going to be so interesting because I've asked Freddy to come back on here and help us in terms of what we can do with working out and exercise of fighting the negative symptoms and adverse effects of this COVID pandemic. What's interesting is Freddy's also going to intertwine another unique perspective here of sex, which he specializes in, by the way. He is definitely a master of sexual energy, sexuality, sexualness, and I can't think of a better guy to come here on today's show right now and just do that exactly for us, because he is the man, as I mentioned, he is the best, and he's going to tell us what we can do in terms of sex and our own sexuality of being able to get through COVID, these quarantining, isolating, alone, lonely days. And Freddy has hope for us, and there's hope for you, and there's hope for all of us too. So we'll have Freddy on here in just a few moments to talk to us all about that. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Yes, my pleasure. Well, it's great to see you. I just saw you a little bit ago over there next door, and so that was good. Looks like you were working them out hard like you always do. I saw Sally there too, right after you left. Did she work out with you as well?
Yeah, I think September is the month of appearances, and and changes, and I think it's good to have people around you like they used to be around you,
Yes. Yeah. Keeping up appearances and certainly trying to kind of swing around the things of what we've been going through this year. So, Freddy, you and I have been chatting all throughout this whole ordeal since this time, about a year ago. And even when this whole thing started further back, and you have not stopped going. In fact, you've kept going. And in fact, you were also traveling, going on trips and going and coming and coming and going. And again, you're still coming hard and going hard. So what's keeping you going and coming all the time? Like, you're just always at it and just doing it.
I think it's just my natural being. It just forced me to move.
Yep.
It's something that we humans, we have to acknowledge, like we are movers. So we need to move. Every day we kind of dying, and we have to be conscious about it too. So if we every day dying, we have to just keep up with that body, with that vessel that is holding us, as a host.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, very well said, and we've talked about this before too, and that's going to lead me to my questions for you, because you've heard it, I've heard it. Members not coming back to the gym, people not wanting to get back and work out, people stuck at home, quarantining, isolating, staying inside, scared to come back, masking, double masking, COVID, double shot, boosters, everything else. So we've been having a lot of just craziness going on with that. And I know that in short, a lot of what you and I have talked about is the natural benefits of natural immunity and your body's resistance to things like this. So in terms of exercise and moving, like you just said, move, you're the movement specialist, so moving. I guess kind of my first question is the importance of moving to combat COVID versus being sedentary and just being isolated and quarantined in one's home. So what's the difference there that you perceive of when somebody's kind of just staying at home, playing it safe, I'll be safe because I'm not going to be out and I won't get sick, versus what you're suggesting is getting out there and moving to fight this whole pandemic?
Yeah, it's a big thing about being sheltered in and just being a couch potato.
Yeah,
because that's where you're gonna end up if you don't have another choice, which is getting out and get fresh air and and just walk. The least that you can do is walking, and it's very important. Just make your body moves in the nature, and the colors. The green is very is a psychologically related with your well-being. It's a mental health. Like when you're walking, you're breathing, and then you are thinking always. And there's a meditation part that you have to make your own type of meditation. It's not just being quiet. Sometimes it's just like walking and or just cooking. Any kind of activity keeps you busy, physically, but in the same time mentally. And I think everybody should connect that to mental and physical in the activity process. So if I'm washing the dishes, I will enjoy the process of washing the dishes, but at the same time, I'm thinking ahead, maybe, so what's next? So everybody's is different, but you have to set your mind like, this is a process that I enjoy it, and it's part of your duty to be clean, of course. So this is the factor that contribute to your mental health.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah. And, the symptoms of COVID, Freddie, we know that not only, like you just touched on the physical component, but also psychologically, some people get depressed, anxious, stressed, and kind of just feeling like they're alone during COVID. We've seen, for example, statistics of suicides increase and, things of that nature. So, why is exercise so beneficial and important in terms of the mental capacity and emotional health of people to continue during, especially right now?
It's crucial. It's crucial to move, and just not to move physically, like taking a plane, going for a road trip, just being around your good friends, good energy around you. Yeah. So I think that's really important to be in the community. Community is going to support you. Because if you're alone by yourself, just kind of like down, you're gonna dig down into the deep hole, and there's not gonna be an outlet. So every human needs a community. Every human needs to be socialized. So that's gonna help you to get out of there and improve your lifestyle and everything else, like healthy wise process.
Yeah. And just the opposite, Freddie, like for example, and you could relate to this too. If there's a day that you don't get to work out, if you're just, for whatever reason, let's say, you just have such a busy day, or you just can't get to it, you're traveling and your flight's been delayed or flight's canceled, what have you. Do you ever see the opposite effect of when you don't get your workout in, that you kind of feel a little bit, negative, or your energy's a little lower because you haven't been able to get your workout in that day?
Like today that happened. I supposed to, after my class, I always have a time for myself.
That's right.
And
right.
Now I already plan be with you right here, but I don't feel like doing it today. Sometimes I just like, hey, I need to step back, think about, hey, I was in the beach this weekend with my friends, and then I got a lot of activities, walking, play volleyball, swimming in the water. I mean, like all kind of activities. And I was driving 5 hours from there, and I was, no, my body needs a little, I have to take care of myself. Like, I feel like I don't want to move. I mean, like movement. Like you all call working out, I don't want to work out.
Right.
So I need rest, recovery, and then if I'm in the mood to do that, I just go for it. But I have to listen. I have to listen and feel how the day goes. Like the mood. The mood is gonna dictate my actions. So that's what I usually do.
No, that's good. Yeah, yeah, that's excellent, Freddie. You know, and it's interesting. You remember Haley? We had done a three-way with her a couple times here before. She's the sexual coach because I was asking her about the relationship. We had a talk and discussion of the sexual energy of people, and you and I touched on that with the nude yoga last month when we chatted. But I wanted to ask you, she had said something that I'd never heard of. It's interesting, the phenomenon known as semen retention, basically trying to not ejaculate for men. She's basically saying that that was actually a good thing, and she was challenging men to do that during the COVID pandemic, meaning it's not good to engage in sex, which I've found very interesting. I would have thought maybe the opposite, but I don't know if there's a correlation to that. But she said that that could actually be adverse and kind of be negative for people in their enjoyment of the sexual activity. So she was suggesting that everyone should wait till the pandemic's over with, especially men. She said to wait before engaging in sex and just hold it to masturbation or just keep it to semen retention. I thought that was just kind of curious, but I don't know. What's your thought? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. We kind of laugh about it, but what's your thoughts? I mean, I was very curious about that. I don't understand the logic, or I guess, you know, I kind of questioned her on that, and I just didn't get anywhere with that, where she was coming from.
I mean, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You try it, so maybe you try it, it works for you. But it's really a mindset. Like, it's everything is on your mind. And if you tap into the sexual energy, is if you do. Are you there?
Yep. See ya.
If you're on your own, like a self-care pleasure,
Yep.
I think it's very important to have that first. So you have to work on yourself, you know, and your sexual energy. So you know really what works for you, maybe, or you're in the process to just keep exploring, you know, possibilities. So, and I think individually, you all have to go to the process of the exploration, but in the same time, connecting and be focused on your own with no distraction. So distraction means porn or just your mind somewhere else, or just do quick fix, which is not wrong with that.
Right.
As she said, the retention comes from the breathing part. Like, you have to get consciously breathing. The breathing work is very important, but it have to come from your pelvic floor, which is the anus and the organs. You just have to focus from there up to your head. It's hard for people, they just don't know about it. Like, it kind of like have a foundation or a little bit reading, you know.
Yeah.
Body and then human desire, it's just like, it's a lot of factors contribute to explore that sexual energy. But as I said before, I think it's better to start from ourselves. So I know I like this way, and I want to finish that way. You know what I mean? Or this position is more. It's so enjoyable for me, and then when I know what works for me, I can share with somebody else if there's a connection. But going to that retention thing is a work on your breathing and your how do you say this? A word, a sphincter. Is that right? A sphincter. We have a sphincter right here on the throat. We have a sphincter in the anus, you know. So we have to control those muscles, and then you can, every time that you were about to come, about to ejaculate, you just hold back. But
that's what she was saying. Yeah, right.
Part that you have to work on. Some
Mm-hmm.
people don't get into that level because they just want to shoot and done. So if you keep that arousal for
Yeah.
a long period of time, you're gonna get into that point that you can control
Okay.
your
Mm-hmm.
own pelvic floor, squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing. So I think for a woman is well, because they are more multi-orgasmic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
take a longer period of time, anatomically talking, like gender. So male are prone to just get out, like get off.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think it's more breathing work and
Mm-hmm.
in control. But you don't have to unless you want to, It,
Right.
it can be really traumatic for some people, like, oh my God, why? And then you're gonna get a blue balls. Uh, and then the sooner or later you're
Hmm.
just gonna explode because you need to release. So release means is a contrary to the stress.
Right.
Stress
Exactly.
your
Mm-hmm.
body. You're putting a stress into your body,
Yeah.
holding, holding, and holding. So and it's gonna be a point that is gonna explode. So
Huh.
it's really intricate just to go, step by step until you reach that level of, okay, that's it. I cannot go that further. So I just gonna, let everything just uh go to the process and go with the flow, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, she was referring. I've never heard this term. Edging is what she kept telling me. Like it was educational for me because she was mentioning how the power of abstinence, abstaining is just like you said, a mindset. You can really set it up here as a goal. And she was challenging me to that, saying that you need to have all of your male clients try this and not do it. And so, yeah, I think that's interesting because, again, it's, we've talked about it's taboo, that it's hard for us to explore that and talk to our clients about that with them. But it is something very real for sure, because no different than like we have pleasure of eating, we have pleasure of, some people want to work out, exercise, they get that pleasure, and it's a stimulus. Same thing with sexual energy. So, in our society, especially the U.S., we tend to snicker and kind of laugh at it. But at the same time, you're very right. I mean, there's like some serious things to think about, like the adverse blue ball effect, or the explosion if it's too early, or if the danger of being more stressed if it's just holding back. And so it's a lot of balance to think about, really, with especially if we're stuck at home, because the point of it is, when I was talking to her, a lot of her business is really getting challenged because she sets up people to matchmake, and people aren't getting out there to meet others because they're afraid of getting COVID or afraid of being infected or what have you. So she's seeing a very big downpour of people not going to the clubs and meeting people and being promiscuous, which I guess, I mean, that could be a good thing, I guess, but then again, I think that we're seeing a lot less of that intimacy and that romance out there. You're not seeing a lot of people hooking up, so to speak, or just getting out there to meet others because of this, because of being socially distant, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Mm, I can't disagree with that because uh, I got other sources that people are more prone to be more sexual.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
That that's what's happening. Like if you cover or you pressing or
Mm-hmm.
press somebody from the natural need, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a need like a eating, whatever,
Yeah.
you're gonna find underground ways to do it.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so and it's gonna be harder because if you go in that direction, the this is a many illnesses, along with that, STDs or
Yes.
issues. But when she talking about edging
Yeah.
is different though. Edging can be like in the foreplay game,
Uh-huh.
and the prolongate more the sexual desire before to get into the how is it uh, the action of the copulation. Okay.
Oh, okay.
is like adding some sauce into that play.
Mm-hmm.
But that aging, like I want it, but I have to hold it back a little more, and it's more enjoyable, but it's more like it's a fire, you making more intensify that relationship, intensify the playground. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But that aging, that can be an aging part in both sides, so female and male. But the other side is abstinence. Abstinence, like I compare that with the fasting. So,
Yeah. Right. Good analogy.
yeah,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
but fasting can be for 24 hours, a week, or a month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It depends. Is it, as I said, it's an individual choice too. It's the same. You can choose to not to have sex, even though you have the need. Males, we have the response. Like every morning, we have a boner.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a sign of healthiness.
Yes. Yes.
Ready
Mm-hmm.
to go. So I think people, some people, they say like in the morning is the best sex ever.
Hmm.
Yeah, because you keep that energy, the flowing sexual energy comes in the morning. Everything just
Right.
take
Yeah.
advantage of the moment that you are in that state of mind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And then, well, that's the point that, you have male have that healthiness. It's a sign. And what I'm going with this is uh, having this fasting for a while, abstinence is individual choice, but it's not gonna get that long period. Like you're gonna find a time for you or
Mm-hmm.
with your partner to have that connection and just, hey, you need to release that. You need to release the tension because you're building a tension. The same with the fasting. It's a little stress, but it's good for your body.
Mm-hmm.
Study says, like, you go into ketosis and your body release many things that it contributes to get more aware and more awake and more, focused. And I really, really proved that. Like I did 2, maybe 3 days, no more fasting, like some kind of liquids. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's really interesting how my body react to that. We're not eating any solids, just sip of water, maybe, with a little salt to keep my electrolytes. But I think it's the same with the sex.
Yeah, I would find that very hard.
Yeah, but sex is more like, for me,
Mm-hmm.
besides being mental, is seasonal because we're animals. Um, and I think summertime is is a more like, you're ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
but the winter you kind of like step back and hibernate. That's that what I think it works for me. But for some people, it's like, I don't know, like their mind is already like, hey, I'm thinking about it. I have to do it. And then you say earlier, stimulation is very important. So if you got is stimulated by anything external,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna build that, you know, uh, tension. When you build the tension, you need to release that. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a stress. So that's my point on that.
Yeah, that's so brilliant, Freddie. Again, I'm learning so much between you and my other video blog with her too. It's just amazing that this is stuff that they don't teach us in like school growing up, in our academics. And I think it's important what you and I are talking about to kind of be very educational because people could really benefit from this if there's people who are scared or unsure, or if they're a virgin and they've never done it, or they're abstaining for a long period of time. She told me about some gentleman 3 years, and I'm just thinking that can't be that healthy. I'm thinking, I mean, that must be, kind of a long time, but if
So
it's out of choice, that's a long time. Yeah.
with no, I mean, abstinence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, he might be on maybe on the conservatory, like being well, he wanna be a priest or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure. She said he was addicted to porn. That was so. I don't think it was that guy. It was a different one because that was his problem. He was addicted to porn, and in that case couldn't find like a partner or someone like that because he was just addicted and had a. She was trying to cure him of that, but that's a really powerful addiction. I think. No.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
but, there's a ways to just kind of get out of it.
Uh huh.
Being busy, doing something else productive, because your mind is gonna be twisted all the time if you kind of watching that all the time. Like coffee.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they cannot live with coffee
That's my problem.
every day. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a problem until is a problem when you cannot live with it.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a process. I think you just have to step back and see yourself like, hey, this is not really healthy to be with, like drinking. If I'm not functioning well in the day, it's because I don't have my coffee. So
That's me.
no,
That's me.
I'm not saying like, I mean, I identify with that because all humans, we have our own demons and addictions
Yep.
in different degrees, I bite my nails,
Mm. Mm.
stuff like that. But I know, like, sometimes I think about it, like, no, today, why I'm doing it?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I'm hyper. If I'm driving, I do that, or like it's some unconscious uh thing coming to my mind, like, what I'm doing this, why? And then in one day, I was like, okay, I'm not doing it, and I don't do it
Huh.
because I so. So it's just mindset and willingness to not to do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like one day don't drink coffee and see how your body react. But next day you're gonna crave maybe half a cup instead the full cup. You know,
Yeah.
it's a it's just you can manage that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's hard. It's the same with a porn. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can watch today 1 hour, maybe next day 30 minutes, then minutes, and then no. Focus on your relationship, focus on your wife or your boyfriend, that he's going to give you that stimulation.
Right.
You won't need extra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's um it's not a problem, but it's just look inwards and work on yourself, like, is this really going to help me? And people around you is going to notice that you have something else, you have worries or stress or something. They can
Yeah.
read. They can read. You can read. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell your clients how they feel. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great, Freddie. Well, Freddie, this is such excellent information, and I really enjoyed this talk today because, again, I think topics like this need to be further discussed and explored. So that way, people can actually kind of get help, whether, like, we talked about the addiction or if they're being isolated at home, quarantine, or having problems. So I think this is very wonderful and insightful. So I appreciate your help and advice. And before I let you go, Freddie, as we always do, how do we find out more about you, the movement specialist?
My website fitperu.net.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's all my information there, and I talking about sex. I'm teaching the nude classes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Next time we're gonna talk more deeper into that.
Yes. Yes.
Is another options for humans to desexualizing nudity.
Mm-hmm.
So my approach to that is the nude yoga classes and being more present and focused and care about energy and soul, regardless of how you look like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because everybody has all this body, all this flesh, but we need to see people in their eyes and just acknowledge that you are not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. That's
Try,
so good.
I teach Fridays. It's a private classes, of course, and you got my information on my website. So whoever's wanna be in there or just being curious, like you are curious about aging or whatever you're talking, you will find it. If you're curious, you will find it.
Certainly. Yeah. Well, that's excellent, Freddie. We'll have that on the screen so everybody can check it out, and if they'll be able to contact you, and that'll be so helpful. So again, Freddie, this was wonderful. Excellent job, and that was an excellent climax to the end of the video there too. Well done.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So yeah, and just get everybody's the pointers. Just sometimes I take a note from others, and that's gives me more knowledge, because it's a learning process for any topic. Like the sexual part is so important. So just keep in mind we need to work in that part, and we're gonna be more glowy and happy.
That's what it's all about too, Freddie. That's wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much again. I appreciate your time. And here comes your contact information. Freddie, enjoy. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon, okay? Thank you.